Hey everybody, it's me Chris again, and I want to do a quick video on the difference between a HEPA bag, a HEPA rated vacuum cleaner bag, and then a paper vacuum cleaner bag. So a lot of people when they're buying vacuum cleaner bags look at just the cost of the bag and don't consider kind of what types of options they have. So you have a couple different options when you go to buy vacuum cleaner bags. You're in a lot of cases going to have the option of like a paper bag and then a HEPA bag, and there's some differences. So with a paper bag, usually you're going to have a insert of some kind that goes onto the vacuum, and then you're going to have a paper sack basically that's attached to it that's going to capture all the debris. So with a vacuum cleaner bag like this one, you see there's a gasket right here, and that gasket is going to cover the valve that goes into the vacuum. Some bags don't necessarily have a gasket. Where it goes in, it's just a cardboard insert. Okay. So on the inside of the bag, this is a paper bag. So this is an Electrolux bag we're going to use as an example. Very standard bag. We're going to see on the inside of this bag, I mean, this is almost just like a paper sack, basically, that has an insert attached to it. We're going to go ahead and look at this, and we will see, we'll open this up, the inside of the bag. It's basically a paper sack, right, on the inside. And so paper on the inside, we're actually going to turn this inside out so we can see it's actually kind of porous. And you can even see, like when we look at the paper very closely, it has little pores on it, and that's just kind of how paper is in general. And air has to flow through the bag when it's capturing things inside of the vacuum cleaner motor. The debris is going to come off of the floor, go into the bag, and then the air travels into the motor system. So what happens here is the little fine particulates coming off of the floor are going to cover the inside of the bag where you have little pores. And then what's going to happen is the air can't really flow through so much anymore. So the bag's going to fill up with debris as much as possible to the point where the motor can't suck any more debris into this. It'll get full, and that makes the motor get hot and try to pull more air through it. Loads the motor. The electricity loading the motor gets really hot too. It's bad for it, and then you have to change your bag. Some vacuums will shut off if they have a thermal overload. They have a little switch inside that's activated by heat. It'll shut your motor down, so you know it's time to change the bag. Or there's a little sensor on the vacuum that'll light up to tell you it's overloaded. There's a load going on, electrical load on the motor, and that'll light that sensor up so that you know. So that's with a paper bag. So with the HEPA bag, the concept is the same. The dirt's going into the bag, so it's traveling into the gasket, and then the bag is going to go ahead and I'll do a new one here. I had one that was cut up. So the debris is going into the bag, into the gasket, right, and traveling inside of it, and then filling up, just like with the paper bag. And the motor, let's say, is back here. So the debris is coming in, and then it's passing, the air is passing into the motor, and the debris is captured inside of here. So with this kind of material, it's a lot more stretchy. It has a lot more give to it. Paper, on the other hand, same kind of thing. It's not going to have the same kind of give. It's just going to rip, right? So we can see how that just like rips. So with HEPA spun material or a HEPA bag, it means that it's really gonna have a lot more durability and a lot more play so that it can fill up with more debris. So I have a HEPA bag that's cut open here so you can see the material that's on the inside as well. So, this material is a lot softer. It's a spun material. It means they took fibers and spun it. And what it does is it actually captures more of the little fine debris on the outside on this material on here versus just going into the pores of the paper, right? And so that way it still breathes. So this can still have airflow going through it and then expand the bag versus the paper system where those pores are going to get restricted with fine debris and just fill up right away. So in some cases, a HEPA bag will hold 2 to 3 times more debris than a paper sack does. So with a HEPA bag, a lot of times you're actually going to get better filtration. It's going to fill up more, and it's going to protect you because you get cleaner air coming out, so you're not breathing dirt, you're not breathing bad emissions, basically. So Super important, I would opt, my opinion is that you opt for the HEPA option if you have that option when you're buying vacuum cleaner bags. It's not going to pass debris through the motor system. It's going to put clean air out for you when you're breathing air in your home, so it's healthier for you, and it's going to protect the motor system in the vacuum. And it holds more debris, so you don't have to change your bag nearly as often with the HEPA bag. So HEPA filtration basically means it's a certification that it means that the vacuum cleaner filters down to 99.9% of particulates that are passing through it. That's what HEPA certification means. So in many cases there may be products that are HEPA. So basically HEPA is an acronym for high efficiency particulate air. So originally called high efficiency particulate absorber for HEPA grade filtration because this is a certification for filters. It's also sometimes called high efficiency particulate arresting or grabbing. So basically what we want to know at the end of the day is that if something is HEPA rated, we know that it's going to grab particles that have a size greater than or equal to 0.3 particulates per cubic foot. So that's an ASME industry standard. It's not published by any government. It is recognized as an authoritative standard by many governments in some cases. It's not really published by any governments, but they do recognize it as a certification for commercialized or products that are in the market, where we're trying to determine if we're going to achieve a certain level of health and wellness with that product and the air efficiency going through it. So there's a lot of different mechanisms around the filtration. Basically, the fibers are typically composed of dimensions between half a micrometer and 2 micrometers. Key factors affecting the functions are fiber diameter and thickness, and also face velocity, so things actually hitting it, right? So the filtration mechanisms are diffusion, interception, initial impaction, and electrostatic attraction. So actually like static attraction, and you'll see that too. Some filters are static charged filter. So basically, what this all means is that there's some different factors that go into HEPA grade filtration. And if you see HEPA certified on something, then it's a higher level of a filter. It's certified to do filtration at a certain level. And the FCC regulates certain types of advertising around that, so you can't do false advertising. But what you do want to know is just because something says it's HEPA certified, the filter is HEPA certified, that doesn't mean that the vacuum captures everything traveling through it. It could still be putting out lots of particulates because that filter might not be implemented very effectively, or the gaskets on the machine might not be good, or the sealing on the machine might not be good. So be leery, even if something's advertised as HEPA grade or never loses suction, things like that. Practically in application, actually in the real world, doesn't mean that's what happens all of the time. So HEPA certified is really good. It's great for a lot of reasons. Obviously, it's going to capture all the bad stuff, so you don't get the bad stuff. And if you're a cleaning freak, you might as well go opt for the HEPA option. If you have any questions, email me at info@blakemansovac.com. You can comment below, and then also we have a link in the description. Thanks.